Saturday. We are going to do a makeup get ready with me. I'm just going to sanitize my hands. I'm going to be using my hands for a lot of things. So, hold on. Is that better? Okay, perfect. We're going to go ahead and start on our makeup. I want to do like a good little holiday look on my eyes for our makeup. So I've already moisturized my skin. Everything I'm talking about is going to be in the chat down below so you can shop. I've already used my clearance double serum. I've used my sunscreen super goop. I've used my uh what moisturizing cream from It Cosmetics. So I've used a bunch of stuff to prep the skin. Hi, Kente. If you're joining, let me know where you're watching from, what city and state that you're in, so I can say hey to you. If you're watching this after the fact, just go ahead and comment along. We're going to do our makeup. We're going to talk about makeup and then just talk about some of the things that's been happening lately in our lives. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below. Even if you're asking it after the live is over, I will answer it in the comments. So go ahead and ask any questions you want to ask. South Carolina, New York. Oh, awesome. I've been to New York and I've been to South Carolina. I've never been to Jersey, but next time I'm in New York, I'll come to New Jersey. Can we talk about Sephora Squad? Give me a minute. Let me grab all my makeup accoutrements so that we can talk. Okay, so Sephora Squad is every year. They pick a group of people. So if you don't know what Sephora Squad is, here's what it is. They pick a group of influencers, usually like 25, to be a part of Sephora Squad. Now, when Sephora Squad started, it was a way for up-and-coming beauty enthusiasts, a way for them to be able to meet brands and to be put before brands. So if you were a makeup artist or makeup influencer, you were talking about Sephora all the time, you're like using Sephora products on your face, you could sign up to be a part of Sephora Squad. You have a good social media presence. You could sign up to be a part of it. And they usually in the beginning, they were picking up and coming influencers, like small influencers under like 50,000. As it's gotten bigger and the program has become more competitive, they've started, picking bigger influencers. So this year, what Sephora Squad does is it puts you in front of brands. So it puts you in front of all the brands that are a part of Sephora. So Fenty Beauty, Makeup by Mario, Makeup Forever, all of these brands, Sephora will put you in front of them in order to be able to get jobs, in order to go on brand trips, like all these things that come along with being a part of Sephora Squad. So if you're an up and coming beauty influencer, it's a great way to get to know the brands, to get, your followers up, to go on these trips. So it's a really lucrative thing to be a part of. Now, I don't think they pay you that much, but in the sense of like what you get out of it, it's amazing. This year, a lot of people noticed that the influencers that they picked I love a lot of the influencers that they picked for Sephora Squad were already bigger influencers, which meant like they already had like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers already. And a lot of the girlies got upset and were like, okay, if the whole purpose of Sephora Squad is to, kind of bring up and coming beauty people, why are there lifestyle creators? Because a lot of these creators were not just beauty. A lot of them were fashion influencers. A lot of them were lifestyle influencers. So a lot of the beauty influencers were like, well, how does this make any sense? And you had a lot of people had issues with it. What is this? Contour. Okay. A lot of people had issues with it. Now, I see both sides of the coin. I see both sides of the coin. I have never signed up for Sephora Squad, but I have given testimonials for a lot of my friends or people I know that have signed up for Sephora Squad. So I have, done my part to try to help the influencers that I like and that have impacted me. Now, you take somebody like Janae, which, if you're on YouTube, or in beauty, not beauty, but in fashion and you're a person of color, you know, or even if you're not a person of color, you know Janae Naylor. She signed up for Sephora Squad. I gave her a testimonial. I started wearing Bobbi Brown because of her. Now, she's not strictly beauty, but she encompasses everything from fashion to beauty to even her home. So there were a lot of influencers that were in that like sort of niche where they did a little bit of everything. They just influence you in any way that they want to. I did a testimonial for her. I'm so glad that she got a part of Sephora Squad. A lot of my beauty um things that I use is because of her. Because she's not beauty and I'm not really beauty either. So I need somebody that likes beauty, but it's not really, that's not going to be teaching me how to do a cut crease. I need somebody that's just going to be teaching me like everyday sort of foundational things. Now, her makeup skills, I think, are just going out the roof. But when I was watching her, you know, I guess really from this year, her makeup was just like everyday, nice, easy makeup. And that's what you need because not everybody wants to be sitting out here doing Halloween face or, you know, sitting here trying to cut crease, sitting here trying to do all these things. So the people that were upset about Sephora Squad, I think just were the perspectives were all off. And I understand. Yeah, Janae's face is always beat. I understand how you feel being somebody that's devoted their entire life and career to beauty, and now you see somebody that's in fashion or somebody that's in lifestyle or somebody that's in travel, now they're a part of Sephora Squad when all you do is makeup. I understand how that can feel, but you also have to understand like any business, and Sephora is a business. Let's not forget that. Any business, at the end of the day, they're going to try to get people they know will translate and people they know will be able to sell their products. Um, you know, so they're going to look for people with a strong audience and a strong voice, right? So you may have the best beauty content out there. Your content may be like amazing. You may just be the best makeup person, but at the end of the day, it's a business and they have to look at their bottom line. They have to look at KPI. You know, they have to look at the return on their investments. They have to look at who is actually selling because you may be an aspirational creator, but you may actually not be able to move product. Now, I'm not saying all influencers should do is move product. I don't like the brands that think all we should do, like your only value is selling. I don't like brands that think that way about creators. It takes 7 points of contact before somebody actually buys your product. So it's not always about you sitting up here selling goods for a brand. It's about, you know, you talking about the brand, you wearing the brand, you getting other people to even just go and search out the brand. You creating great content that the brand can then use to whitelist, which means they can use to like do paid ads behind. It's about the brand being able to take your content and put on billboards. It's so much more than selling. Should you be able to move product? 1,000%, especially if you call yourself an influencer. But is that your only value in the space of content creation? Not at all. Not at all. So I want you to like think about that. So when a brand is thinking about who they're going to pick for this Sephora Squad, and now it's getting so competitive and you have thousands of people signing up and they can only pick 27 or 25 people, guess who they're going to pick? They're going to pick the people who have a voice. Now, there were some micro influencers. It wasn't just big influencers. I think there's an influencer with like 10,000 followers. I'm actually going back to Africa, Richard. Thank you. You're so sweet. I'm actually going back to Africa. How did you know? Um, in like a couple of weeks. You're prophetic. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, they're gonna pick, like, think about yourself if you were a business and you had to make money. Who you gonna pick? Are you gonna pick, you know, the influencer? Like, let's just be so for real. Are you gonna pick the influencer that's just starting out, that really hasn't put that much effort and time in? Or are you gonna pick the influencer that has put time, work, effort. They have a voice. Their audience knows them. If their audience buys from them, they have market, you have market research to show that when they endorse a product, the product sells out. No, I am. Thank you so much. I wish I had one of my, okay, I'm gonna remove him. There we go. I've removed him. You're gonna try as a brand, you're gonna try to find the influencers that you feel like are going to give you bang for buck. So that's what happened with Sephora Squad. I think as it gets bigger and bigger and more and more creators sign up, it's gonna be less about finding up and coming influencers and more so about Sephora's bottom line. Because at the end of the day, Sephora is a business and they're going to care about their bottom line, and they're going to care about, bigger influencers or influencers that are making a splash than they really are about supporting smaller influencers. There's so many other programs that you could join. Um, There we go. I hate him. There's so many other hi Tracy. Hey boo. There's so many other things that you could join. Like Pinterest has a fund. You could join the Pinterest fund. TikTok has a creator fund. YouTube has, YouTube page. There's so many different things. Thank you so much, Mika. There's so many different things that you could do. So many different places. Ulta has Ultra Collective. So it's not just Sephora. Really want y'all to like devoid yourself of just thinking, oh, I just have to hold on. I just have to join Sephora. I have to be a part of Sephora Squad. There's so many other squads that you can join and be a part of and maybe even do better at than just Sephora. So, if you join Sephora Squad and you didn't get, they didn't pick you, that's okay. You know, Try again next year and try again the year after that and try again the year after that. Like, just don't give up and don't think this is the end all because you didn't get picked for the 2025 Sephora Squad. There's always 2026. There's always 2027. Like, the race isn't given to the steady, it's given to those who persevere. So just keep persevering and keep trying, keep going out there, keep putting yourself up. And in this game, you have to be okay with rejection, right? In life, you have to be okay with rejection. I never understand the people that think like things are just gonna come easy to them. There are a lot of people that things come easy to. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people, they get on social media, they start their channel, 3 days later, there are 300 million views. 10 days later, they're the biggest creator on planet Earth. But a lot of people, it takes them a long, long time to get where they want to be. It takes them, I remember, I talk about Issa Rae all the time. Because I remember when I was watching Issa Rae and she was doing Diary of, Insecure Girl. I think that was the name of it. It was a YouTube series. I used to watch her. And I used to think this lady is so much better than this YouTube channel. This show was so funny. Does anybody remember that show from Issa Rae? Diary of an Insecure Black Girl. I think that was the name of it. Oh my God, that show was hilarious. I was in high school when Issa Rae was doing that. Maybe I was maybe middle school or something when Issa Rae was doing that. Issa Rae popped off when I was in college. That was years and years and years and years later. So I want you to keep in mind in life, and I'm speaking to myself because just yesterday I was in a place where I just was like crying. Happy birthday, Bella. I was crying because I was just like, God, I've been doing this for so long. I've been content creating for so long. All these people, I've helped influencers. I've given influencers tips and they're doing way better than me. I have, I've just given up so much of myself. I've done classes. I've, done one-on-ones. I've done free, people will DM me. I'm giving them advice on how to, pitch, how to, you know, make money, how to like, I've done videos on YouTube. I've given out pitch templates. Like in this whole time I've been here, my whole goal has been to help other women, and the same people I've helped have now super surpassed me, which is great. It makes me really happy because it makes me see that it's possible, right? The same people that I have poured out to are now doing 10 times better than me, now making so much money than me, now growing. But at the end of the day, it's about timing. Okay. And I always think about Issa Rae. Her timing just wasn't that time. When I was in high school and middle school, it wasn't her time. But she never gave up. So if you're one of the girls that applied to Sephora Squad or, any of these other things and it didn't happen, you applied for that job and the job didn't come through, you applied for that, promotion and the promotion didn't come through, you've been toiling and toiling and toiling and nothing seems to be going your way. I just want to tell you, like, don't give up. Do not give up, because at the end of the day, if I keep saying at the end of the day, but think about it. If you keep trying and you don't make it, at least there's the chance that breakthrough is right around the corner, right? There's always that glimmer of hope when you're walking. Think about yourself in a desert and you're looking for water. If you stand still, you have no hope of finding water. If you stand still, you have no hope of finding shelter. But if you keep moving, if you put one leg in front of the other, there's always that chance that you will find what you're looking for. It's the same thing in this journey called life. Hold on a minute. It's the same thing in this journey called life. The minute you stop moving, the minute you stop going, the minute you say, well, it's not for me. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been trying to get this promotion for 15 years. I've been trying to find this good husband, this good wife for 30 years. I'm 30 years old now. I've been trying to become a viral sensation for 10 years, for 5 years. The minute you start thinking that way, you think, well, maybe this isn't for me. I'm over here. Everybody's doing better than me. My numbers are bad. The minute you start thinking that way, you allow yourself to quit, you will always, always, always still be in the same place. Okay? You'll never get any further than what you are. The minute you stop walking is the minute you stop winning. The minute you stop walking, the minute you stop showing up, the minute you give up is the minute that you have stopped. Is the minute that you have decided, I don't want to attain this goal. You'll never, ever get to the place you want to be when you stop moving. The only place you'll ever get to is the place you are now. That's the only place you'll ever get to. You will be stuck exactly where you are. So if you signed up, somebody asked about Sephora Squad. If you signed up and you didn't get it, it's okay, sis. It's okay. I say this all the time, and one of my prayers is, God, don't give me anything I can't sustain. Don't give me anything I cannot sustain. Don't give me anything I cannot keep up with. Don't give me anything that's going to destroy my life. Or if you give it to me, give me the grace and give me the energy and give me the wisdom to be able to sustain it. A lot of times we ask for things. Oh, I signed up for Sephora Squad. I really want to be on Sephora Squad. Sis, do you have the energy it takes to put out beauty content all the time, to be able to travel whenever they want you to travel, to be able to put out the content the next day? Do you have the systems in place to be able to do everything that you want? Because a lot of people become overnight successes and end up fumbling the ball because they did not have what it took. They did not have their systems in place. They did not have, the money it took to like sustain it. They did not have the wisdom. They did not know how to manage the money that was coming to them. Think about the athletes that make millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars a year. Hi, sis. That make millions and millions and millions of dollars a year, and then they retire and they have no money. They weren't able to sustain what was given to them because they didn't have any financial literacy. A lot of times we ask for things. Think about the people that are like, oh God, I'm ready to get married. I'm ready for, my wife or my husband. God brings a good person. And because of their trauma, because they did not find a therapist, because they did not deal with that ex that was always cheating on them, because they did not deal with that broken marriage that ended up bad, because they did not deal with, the things that happened to them in their childhood, they weren't able to sustain that relationship. They went through that relationship because their ex was always cheating. They thought this new man was cheating. They thought this new man, this new woman was cheating. So they're going through that person's phone all the time. They're asking the person where they're going. They can't trust the person. They are literally putting trackers on the person. Like, they're being a menace because all they've ever known is men that do bad. All they've ever known is women that cheat. So when a person comes along and they said, well, that's not me, they can't even believe it. They don't trust it. So they end up driving that person away because they are unhealed. They are unhealed. You say, God, give me this money. If you give me this money, I'm going to do right by it. But the money God is giving you now, you can't do right by it. The little he's giving you now, you can't do right by it, right? Every day you're overdrafting. Every day and I'm speaking to myself, you're at Starbucks and I'm at Starbucks every day, which I'm working on. Every day you're taking money and you're spending it frivolously. You're buying things you don't need. You're spending money on no good friends. You're giving money to people that don't need it, don't deserve it. You don't know how to manage the $50. How are you going to manage $50,000? You think about the people that win the lottery, right? They win the lottery. There's a whole thing called the curse of the lottery. They win the lottery, but because they don't have the financial acumen, because they don't know what to do with that money ends up running through their fingers. You can't ask for something you can't sustain. So maybe God is saying right now, you're not ready for it. I can't give you what I want to give you because you're not ready. You don't have your systems in place to be able to sustain it. Maybe another year for Sephora Squad. Maybe another year for that raise. Maybe another year for that man. Maybe let me get you to a place that when I bring him or her, you are able to keep that blessing. Because there's nothing worse than getting what you've prayed for and fumbling it because you weren't ready. And you guys, people like that. People like that. People that are like, girl, if I had what you had, I would be doing this and this and this and that. People like that. People that you literally sit here and you think, if I only had the opportunities that you had, I'd be doing so much more with that. People like that. And you are a person like that because there's somebody that looks at your life and says, if I had what you had, I would be doing so much more. With the little you have, you're doing nothing, but you want more. And here's the thing. Disappointments in life will get us to a place where you want to quit. Yeah, girl, you better say that, Angela. Everybody type that in. If that's your prayer, say, get me ready, Jesus. Get me ready, God. That's my prayer. Get me ready. Get me ready. Like, get me to the place where anything you give me, I'm able to steward it well. And don't give me anything that's going to destroy my life. I don't need it. If it's going to destroy my life, I don't want it. I'd rather be happy with what I have now than be miserable with more. Let me say that again. I'd rather be happy with what I have now than be miserable with more, because that raise is not going to bring you happiness. More money is not going to bring you happiness. More accolades is not going to bring you happiness. Sephora Squad is not going to bring you happiness. Going viral is definitely not going to bring you happiness. More money is not going to bring you happiness. Happiness comes from you and God. It's an internal thing. More money brings freedom, yes, but it doesn't bring happiness. Think about all the celebrities that have money and go and unalive themselves. Money does not equate happiness. Think about all the celebrities. Think about all the rich people in this world that are miserable. They can't keep a marriage. They can't keep their men. They can't keep anything. More money only brings freedom, but there's also freedom in joy. There's also freedom in just being happy with where you are. Gratefulness will take you a lot further. Gratefulness will take you a lot further than anything else in your life. The minute you learn to be grateful, God, I know I want to be married, but I'm very grateful for the place I'm in now. God, I know I want to be a millionaire, but I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head and a car. God, I know I want to be, popular or whatever. I want to have social media. I want my social, but I'm very happy for the 5,000 that you've given me. I'm very happy for the 3,000 followers that you. I'm very happy for what I have now. Gratefulness would take you so much further than being in a place where you just are always wanting more. You're never happy. You're never satisfied. There's a difference between being ambitious and being ungrateful. You can be ambitious and still be very grateful for the things that you have. Listen, my good sis is not playing with y'all. She's going to block you. If you keep talking out the side of your neck, it's getting blocked in the name of Jesus. No, a million definitely isn't what it used to be. A million definitely isn't what it used to be. But I know for a lot of people, a million would change their lives. Oh, thank you, Angela. I know a million would change your lives. A million would change the trajectory of their lives. But I want you to understand, like, just being very in a place of like, I'm grateful no matter what happens, no matter if I never get anything else in life, that I'm alive and breathing, I have functionality of my body. I'm grateful for that. I'm thankful for that. If anything else comes, it's an added bonus to my life. Right? So that's how I want you to walk through life. I'm so glad somebody brought up Sephora Squad, because I wanted to talk about just how I understand how it feels to not get something you want. I understand how it feels to like feel like you are more deserving than the person who got it. Those feelings aren't facts. Feelings aren't facts, y'all. Feelings aren't facts, and there's sometimes feelings aren't even real. Feelings should be acknowledged. Yes, you should acknowledge your feelings. You should acknowledge the feelings. You should acknowledge how you feel. Don't sit up there and swallow your feelings and try to act like everything's good and try to act tough. Don't do that. I'm not saying do that. But also keep in perspective, feelings aren't facts. Okay? Just because you feel like you're failing doesn't mean you're failing. Just because you feel like nothing's going right in your life doesn't mean nothing's going right in your life. Just like you feel like somebody's doing better than you doesn't mean somebody's doing better than you. Feelings are just indicators that something is going on in your mind and in your heart that you need to pay attention to. That's all feelings are. Feelings are indicators that maybe you need to take a little break. You need to step back and self-evaluate. Because the minute you start feeling that nothing is going right in your life, the minute you start feeling that you are just the bottom of the barrel, you have to step back and say, okay, these feelings are telling me I've been on social media too much. These feelings are telling me I'm looking at left and right and trying to keep up with the Joneses. These feelings are telling me I'm in a place where I'm emotionally unstable. I need to center myself. These feelings are telling me that somebody has done something to me and I need to speak to them about it instead of just glossing over it. Feelings are directional maps to help you figure out what's going on, why you feel that way. Feelings help like bring you back to reality and say, okay, something's going on. What is it? But feelings aren't reality. Okay. I may feel like a 6 foot Amazonian queen, but I'm 5 feet. There's some days I feel like I'm 6 foot, I'm tall. I walk into a room, there are days I feel like that. And then there are days I walk in there and I feel like a failure. Neither one is true or false. Neither one is neither one is true or false. They are just indicators of where my mental health is. And so if you're in a place where every one of your emotions is telling you that you're a failure, you have to step back. You have to listen to your body. You have to listen to your mind, and you have to figure out, why do I feel this way? What have I been doing that's making me feel like I'm not succeeding? And then you have to pinpoint it and then work on those feelings. Work on getting back to the place where you feel centered. I never want you to feel overly confident to the point of pride. And I never want you to feel underconfident to the point where you feel like you're not good enough. I want you centered. I want you centered in your emotions, in your mental health, in your physical health, in your spiritual health. You need to be centered. So the moment you start feeling like that, you didn't get something, and all of a sudden you feel like nothing in life is good. You feel like you're not good, you're not going to be successful. There's an imbalance, because one rejection should not be the end all be all. Let me say that again. One rejection should not be the end all be all. Yes, you acknowledge the feelings. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it doesn't feel good. Yes, I don't like it. Yes, I wish I had made it. Yes, I feel like I was more deserving. Okay. Now that that's out the way, how do we keep grinding? Yes, I feel like my content should be doing better. Yes, I feel like I put out better content than a lot of these people. Okay, great. How do we move forward? Because what happens is, when you allow that imbalance, thank you so much, y'all. When you allow that imbalance to continue, there's only three things that's going to happen to you. You're either going to quit because you're going to feel like, this isn't for me. This isn't the place I need to be. Nobody cares what I do. Nobody cares. You're either going to quit, you're going to turn bitter and angry towards other people, towards your competitors, you feel like, towards God, right? Or you're just going to stop. Those are the three things. Rejection can really throw you off. Again, that's why I said, acknowledge it. I'm not one of them people that, like, speak it, lie till you make it. I'm not one of those people. It hurts. It hurts. I don't want you sitting here saying, "Oh, it's all good. It's all good. I'm so happy I didn't get it. Something better's coming." No, 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 no. We're not doing that. We're not going to live in delusion. But we're also not going to wallow in it. We're going to say, yes, this hurts. I wish I had gotten it. This doesn't feel good. I feel like maybe I was more deserving. However, I didn't get it. So how do I level up? I'm going to take maybe a week off and really sit in this pain and talk to God and call my therapist and work it out. And then I'm going to come back a week later. I'm going to get off social media so I can clear my mind. I'm going to stop talking to those friends that are all getting married. And it makes me feel weird when I'm around them, because I want to be married and I don't think they should be married because they're still doing this. And here I am all by baby, step back. Because now your emotions are taking you on a tailspin. Now you're angry at that person at their blessing. And how do you expect to get that same blessing when you can't even rejoice for them? I don't care if you don't think they're deserving. A lot of people aren't deserving. That doesn't mean that it still doesn't come to them. Oh, sorry, y'all. Rejection will throw you off. But you know what you do? You get back up and you get back on the horse. You get back up and you get back on the horse every single time. You sit there, you deal with the pain, you deal with the rejection, you phone a friend, you phone your therapist, you talk about it, and then you say, okay, let's keep going. Because again, the minute you allow rejection, there's three things rejection can allow you to do. It can allow you to become bitter and blame other people and blame God and become just a bitter person. Two, it can make you want to quit where you're like, this isn't for me, I'm going to find something else. This isn't the place for me. It remove you out of the place God said you were supposed to be in, right? Or it can allow you to stop, right? I'm just going to stop. I'm going to take a break. I'm not going to go as hard. I said I was going to post how many days. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to show up one time. Who cares? I'm just going to wait 2 weeks. I'm not going to do as much on the job. Nobody cares if I show up anyway. I didn't get that promotion. What do they care if I show up or not? Right? I'm not going to give them my best because my best wasn't good enough. It allows you to either quit, stop moving, or become bitter and angry towards the people that you feel like got what you deserved. I want you to walk through life being balanced in your emotions when it comes to rejection. Everybody gets rejected. Everybody gets rejected. I was just watching Kiki Palmer's video on Club Shay Shay, and she was talking about how she got rejected. She was doing this pilot for this movie, and she had already gone through all of it. She had been accepted on the movie. She was already in talks for it. She was studying for the lines, and then they ended up getting a new director. And the new director was like, I don't want Kiki Palmer. Find somebody else. Now, mind you, she has spent a year of her life getting ready for this role. He was like, I don't want her. I found somebody else. We don't need her anymore. And she said they called her, they called her mom. Her mom was her manager, and told her mom that they did not need her anymore for the role. And she said she remembered, because this was like, think about like a year of your life you've spent preparing for this role, just for a new director to come in and say, I don't want her. And you don't know the director, you don't know what you did wrong, you don't know anything. He just wanted to bring somebody else in. So she said, she took it. She was very sad about it. It just really threw her for a loop. She said, not even a couple of months into the project, they called her back. They called her mom back and was like, the other actress isn't working out. We're going to need Kiki Palmer back. And she said the lesson she learned from that is, if it's meant for you, it's always going to be for you. Oh, child, I was crying watching her interview. First of all, it was so funny. I was laughing the whole time. Definitely go watch it. But when she said that, I was just like, you know what? She said not even a director could stop me from that role because it was meant for me. What is meant for you is always going to be for you. You may not get it because it's not the right time. But when the timing and destiny come into alignment, there's nothing that will be able to stop you. She said not even the director of the movie could stop me from being in that movie. So when timing and and destiny come into alignment, baby, nobody will be able to stop you from the blessing. And you have to understand, if it didn't happen, it might be for you, but it just might not be the right timing. I really hope this helped. Somebody asked, maybe I missed it. Somebody asked something about a spouse. But I think I might have missed it. I don't see it anymore. If you have any questions, let's do a question and answer, because I feel like I've been preaching to y'all. And I always want it to be interactive. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm trying to put my eyelashes on, so please forgive me. I'm not the best at lashes. So if you have any questions, we'll open it up for question and answer. But I want to encourage y'all today. Just be encouraged. You're on the right path. You're on the right path. Like, it may not seem like it, it may not feel like it may not, you just might not be in the place. Like, nothing may line up. Nothing may line up the way you think, but you can't look at what's happening on the outside. You have to believe and trust that everything will work out for your good, especially when you're a child of God, right? Everything will work out for your good, especially when you're a child of God. You have to stand firm in that. I may not see it, but I know it's happening. Did you hear about the influencer stealing from Target? No. What happened? Somebody said good preaching. Baby, one thing I can do is preach. No, I didn't hear about that, but let me just tell you. Again, it goes okay. So it goes back to what I was saying. We can get to a place where we're so envious of people. We're so envious of people's lives. We're so envious of what we see, especially with this era of social media influencers. We're so envious of like what they post to be that we don't understand. Y'all, let me just tell you, there's a lot of influencers that buy thousands of dollars of stuff and return it. And I'm not saying return it because it doesn't fit, because I return things when they don't fit or I actually don't like it. But they do hauls and they return it because they don't have the money. And mind you, there's a lot of people that don't have the money. I get it. When I started influencing, I didn't have the money either. I would go and thrift because I just did not feel right buying $500 worth. First of all, I didn't have $500 to spend in the beginning. So there was also that. There are a lot of influencers that are living with maxed out credit cards. There are a lot of influencers that don't have dental insurance. They don't have health insurance because they can't pay for it. There are a lot of influencers renting aircrafts, renting houses, renting things, renting bags to be able to live a certain lifestyle that they know is not attainable even for them. There are a lot of influencers, okay? There are a lot of, and I'm not just saying, let me not just say influencers. There are a lot of people scamming. There are a lot of people scamming for their well-being, right? They don't have the money. There was one influencer, y'all. This was a couple of years. Can you guys hear me? I feel like this thing messed up, didn't it? Oh no, it cut off. Let me get out. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, I think it went out for a minute. I got a phone call from my sister and it went out. Okay, can y'all see me now? Comment, let me know if you can see me. Okay, you're back. Okay, perfect. You got to understand there are a lot of people there. Okay, so there was this one influencer and she's still influencing. She went to jail and came back. She only got like a couple of months. She went to jail and came back and kept doing what she was doing. Well, not scamming anymore, but she was taking and doing credit card fraud to buy her YSL, her Yves Saint Laurent, and she was a luxury influencer, like luxury. I remember I would look at her stuff and be like, oh my God, I can't wait till I can afford some of this stuff. I can't wait till I can, buy some of this stuff. And the whole time, come to find out, I mean, if I told you her name, you could look it up. She was literally scamming old people. She was doing that thing where, you can buy credit cards and the credit card numbers, put it on a card and go shop. And that is how she was having all this money to do all these things. And a lot of times we are on the outside looking in thinking, oh my God, if only I had this kind of money. Oh my God, if only I had this thing. Y'all, Now don't get me wrong, there are influencers who have money. There are influencers who make $1 million a quarter. There are influencers who get brand deals $500,000 easy. But for the most part, in debt, credit card debt, Amex card, out the yin yang. Um, Having a lot of them, I remember after the pandemic, a lot of them had to go back and get jobs because they realized like the money doesn't come fast and it doesn't come easy. So when you're sitting here, I tell people all the time, when you get on the internet, you need to suspend belief. It's like when you go into the theater and you're watching Spider-Man. I know y'all don't think that little man is up here jumping from buildings for real, right? You don't think that, right? You don't think Spider-Man is actually in New York. Like my kids think Spider-Man is actually in New York. So whenever we go to New York, they always ask me, "Did you see Spider-Man?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." A lot of y'all, when you get on the internet, you don't think that way. You don't come on the internet thinking that way. There's a lady that literally she wanted to become a hair influencer. She wanted to become a wig influencer. Her and her husband got married. They were saving money to buy a house. She took the money out of the savings account little by little and used it to buy hair so she could become a hair influencer. When it was time to buy the house, the $50,000 they had set aside for their down payment was gone. Here's what she said. She said that she was borrowing the money, and then when she started making money, she was going to put the money back. But she actually never made money. And so now the money that her and her husband have been saving up for, God, for years, I spilled my banana deep, for years to actually have something that values is gone. And she still didn't become who she wanted to become. Y'all have to suspend belief when you get on the internet. And I'm not saying sit up here and think everybody is broke, all influencers are broke. No, baby. I can tell you that. We're not. We're definitely not. There's some that make a lot of money, but few and far between do make the money that would change their lives. A lot of them are living off credit. A lot of them are living on debt, right? A lot of them are living off their Amex cards. A lot of them are living off parents. There's a lot of influencers that have really rich parents. There's a lot of influencers that already start out with help, right? They start out with parents that help them. They start out with parents that have money. They're married, so or their husband works a job, right? Their husband works at, like me. Y'all, if I was, now mind you, I make 6 figures as a content creator. However, the way that I shop and the way that I live, if I wasn't married, I would not be a full-time influencer. I would not be a full-time influencer. Do you understand? Because the stress that comes with income that's not steady, nobody will know unless you're a contracted worker. The stress that comes with income that's not steady is wild. When you have to sit up here and wait, and sometimes the brands don't pay you on time, baby, Alabama Power does not care that a brand did not pay you on time. They want their money now. That phone company does not care that the brand is 2 weeks late. They want their money now. Today. Actually, yesterday, if I was honest. So you have to be very, very smart. You have to be very money oriented. You have to know how to balance your money. You still have to pay taxes if you're doing it right. You still have to pay taxes. if you're doing it right, when that 30% of your check is going to taxes, 20% is going to your manager or your management team, if you have one. This is the Fenty Beauty. I linked it down below. It's my favorite concealer. It's so good. Think about that. Let's say you get a, you get a check. You just started. You get a check for 20,000. $20,000 check for one job, right? 30%, cuz somebody help me do the math. 30% goes to your taxes. How much you have left over? 20,000, 30%. I don't know. Yo, I'm not good at math. Put that down. Then 20% goes to your manager. So 30% taxes, 20% manager. So that's 50% already of your check. So you have $10,000 left. Then if you pay tithes and offering, you're paying 10% of your tithes and offering, or 15%, however much you pay. Then you got to think about your bills. Yeah, 50% removed already from the top. Now, if you don't have a manager, you don't have to worry about that. But if you don't have a management company, you still have an assistant you have to pay. You still have maybe a little manager that helps manage your emails. Baby, that 30% for taxes, that's already pretty much all your money. Since I live in Birmingham, so I live in Birmingham, Alabama, but I am from Nigeria. But I lived in Montgomery from when I came from Africa when I was 8 years old. So from 8 to 27, I lived in Montgomery. Taxes will eat that check up. Okay? And somebody that, my husband is a partner at his law firm. So that means that we are all contracted workers. I'm an influencer. I'm a contracted worker. My husband is a partner at his law firm. He's not an employee. So he's a contracted worker. So at the end of the day, we both of us have to pay our taxes quarterly. And because, he makes, we owe 100,000 plus in taxes every year. So for that, we have to pay quarterly, and they actually give us like, we get more time. So we'll get we can be like a year, 2 years behind taxes because of the amount of taxes we pay. You get some breaks on paying when you have to pay so much. But I mean, think about the amount of taxes. The more money you make, the more taxes you pay. If you are not good at managing your money, baby, you're not gonna make it. If you think, oh, you got that $40,000 check, you can just ball out. You got that $50,000 check, you can just ball out. That tax man comes to collect. Your manager comes to collect. Your tithes and offering, if you pay, that comes to collect. Your bills come to collect. And on top of that, your health insurance, your dental insurance, y'all, I can't tell you how many influencers don't have savings account. They don't have a 401k. Y'all, oh my God, I wish I could just do a class on this. They don't have a 401k. Also, you have kids. You have kids. Are you saving money to the side for your kids? Do you have a 401k for when you retire? They don't have insurance. They don't have health insurance. They don't have life insurance. If anything happens to you, that's it. You made all this money. It's just the same thing with athletes. You make all this money over your lifetime and you end up, what's his name? T.O. You wake up one day and you don't have anything because you left your money for somebody else to manage and they mismanaged it, or you just spent your money. You had to keep doing them hauls. You had to keep doing this. You had to keep doing that. Instead of taking that money and saying, okay, we need to divvy this up, right? I need a financial advisor. I need somebody that's going to pay me, right? So the money goes to them and then they pay me every month. The rest of the money stays with them. And whatever money they pay me, that's the money to pay my bills. That's the money to pay this. That's the money. They don't, a lot of influencers don't have that. So they make a lot of money, but the money that they make, they just go and buy things. And then you wake up one day and the jobs aren't coming in the way they were coming in. The brands aren't looking for you anymore. You know, something happens. You have an emergency. You need an emergency fund. You don't have it. But you got Hermes, but you got YSL, but you got Yves Saint Laurent, but you had that trip that you vlogged about, and that's it. You don't got nothing else. You know, you're making these kids do this content, memorize these lines. One day they're gonna wake up and sue you because you didn't even think to set up a college savings fund for them. You didn't even think to set up anything for them for their future, but you were using them in your content. You don't have systems in place, right? Financial literacy is something we should all be taking seriously, especially if you're going to be a businesswoman, a businessman, because at the end of the day, that's what a content creator is. It's not somebody that gets pretty clothes. It's not somebody that gets to go on fancy trips. You're a business person. You're a business person. And you have to look at yourself as a business person. You have to carry yourself as a business person. And a business person makes sure that they have all these things in place. I'm a stable girl too, honey. That's why my man could never say, I want to quit my job and become a content creator. Never. You need to go to work. Okay? I content create for kicks and giggles because it's a passion. I love it. You need to go to work. Okay? So when you get into the world of content creation, please, 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 please think of yourself as a business first before you think of yourself as a creator. You are a B2B, right? So when Walmart reaches out to work with you, it's a business to business. When Target reaches to work out with you, it's a business to business. How Target will conduct itself, that's how you need to conduct yourself. You know, you are a business, a LLC working with another, well, they're not LLC, they're like a corporation. Or your S Corp working with a huge corporation. I want you to think of yourself that way because when you think of yourself that way, you're less likely to accept lower rates. You're less likely to accept being, used, and you're more likely to manage your money a little bit better. And again, y'all, I'm speaking to myself. I'm the worst at managing money. But I thank God that I have a husband that's really great at managing money. But for a lot of us girls, we don't have that. A lot of us, a lot of single women, you don't have that. You kind of have to be everything all at once. And your best bet is just to get, when you get to the place where you're making that amount of money, is to get like a little money manager. They will help pay your taxes. They will do all these things for you. And you can really just worry about being the talent. If you don't have a spouse that can do that for you. Now, my spouse, that's what he does. He loves doing it. But we have a CPA. CPA. There you go. I was just saying that we have a CPA because owns a law firm. He has to have a CPA. We have a CPA. We also have, an investment broker, which, mind you, that's not for everybody right now. That's for when you start making the amount of money where you're like, oh, okay, I need to set some aside. I need to make sure that I know I have somebody that knows what to invest in, what the markets are doing. You may not be at the place where you have the money to invest, But when you get to that place, get an investment broker. They can play the markets for you. They take your money and make your money make money. You know, set your kids up with a college fund. Start paying for it little by little by little by little. Start paying for their college fund so that when they grow up, they don't have to worry about paying for college for themselves. And then also get a life insurance policy. Get a life insurance policy for yourself, for your spouse. And, you know, when your kids get older, if you want one for them, get one for them too. These are all the things that you could be doing to make sure you set yourself up and your kid up for a better life than the life that you had. A CPA is the lowest hanging fruit. It's the easiest thing you could do today is get yourself a CPA. Sorry, y'all. I'm looking for my one size setting powder. The Maelle Cosmetics owner says she was sabotaged. I don't know. I've never used Maelle's Cosmetics, so I don't know. I just know there were a lot of issues after she left. She sold it off and she left, and then it just went downhill from there. So I don't know that much about her, but prayers, thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers to her. But at the end of the day, one, as like we were saying in the beginning, I want you to be diligent. I want you to be persevering. I want you to take the loss on the chin, but keep going. I want you to acknowledge your feelings, but also realize that feelings aren't based a lot of times in reality. So you can't live in that place. And I want you to be smart about your business. Yeah, we did. We talked about Sephora Squad. We did. Go back when I'm gonna post this so you can go back and watch it because that was a really, really good chat. Again, if you didn't make the Sephora Squad, I'm so sorry. Keep it in perspective, y'all. Keep it in perspective. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Be happy for the people who got it. But realize when your time comes, it's going to be your time. And you want people to rejoice with you as well. You know, in that. And then also understand, like I said, the two things. When destiny and timing meet, that's when overflow comes. A lot of times, the destiny might be there, but the timing might not. Or the timing might be there, but it's not where you're supposed to be. When you figure those two things out and they come in alignment with each other, you're going to be exactly where you want to be. Yeah. What's for you will always, always, always be for you. Somebody asked about what's the knowledge of the day. Hi. The knowledge of the day is persevere. Don't give up. Even when you don't feel like doing it. Like today, I've been pivoting my content on Instagram. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, please, please, please do. It is Funmi Ford. Same across all platforms. I've been pivoting my content. And it's been hard. It's been real hard. Oh, this is a lip balm. I was looking for my blush. But this is definitely a lip balm, I think. Yeah. It's been really, really, really hard. When you pivot your content and you go from one content to the other, people don't really care. People don't really want to watch. People like what's going on. So I've been feeling really bad because the views are down and it's just like, oh God, you know. But at the end of the day, like you got to go with your gut instinct. You got to go with your baby. This what I'm sis. You said this at the right time because I literally was feeling like this yesterday where I'm just like, oh my God, I've been pivoting my content and the views have gone. I mean, all my videos, there's no way I won't get to 10,000 views. There's no way I'll get to 10,000 views by that morning. On Instagram, not here. Here, if I get to 1,000 views, I'm praising God and rejoicing because YouTube is a beast. So I called my sister. I just was like very down about it because I'm pivoting my content. I'm trying to do more lifestyle and not just do fashion. I'm trying to do more makeup. I'm just pivoting my content because I know it's time. and the views are like 3,000, 1,000 views. And I want to delete everything. I just want to delete everything and start all over. I'm like sad. This morning, I was like, 2 days ago, I was supposed to wake up and shoot content. I didn't do it because I was like, who cares? Nobody's watching anyway. Nobody cares. Yesterday, I was like, okay, Funmi, you wallowed. It's fine. Now you need to get up and work. I got up yesterday. I'm like, who cares? I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to run errands. I don't care. I don't want to do it. And today I just woke up and I called my sister and we prayed. And I said, I don't feel like doing it. But it's when you don't feel like doing it that you have to do it. Let me just say that again. It's when you feel like you don't want to do it. That's when you have to keep doing it. Yes. And keep it in perspective. Y'all, I don't know where my setting powder is. Hold on. I'm gonna have to use this this other setting powder. This other one size. When you feel like, because at the end of the day, y'all, it's that push. Okay? I'm from Nigeria. It's that extra push. Before the blessing, there's always a counterfeit. Before the blessing, there's always turmoil. Before the blessing, before a rise, there's always a dip. Because in order for the pendulum to swing, it has to go one way. Think about it this way. For an arrow to go out and hit its target, what do you have to do? What do you have to do? You have to pull it back. You have to pull it back. Right? So it looks like it's going backwards, but it's really not. It looks like it's going backwards, but it's really not. It's just positioning itself in order to take off. Ooh, baby. I'm preaching louder than y'all are clapping. In order for it to go where it needs to go, somebody has to pull it back in order for it to have its maximum impact on that target. So a lot of times we sit here and we think that delay, or sometimes we feel like, oh, I'm just moving backwards. Everybody's moving up. And we think it's because we're not doing right. We think it's because people are doing better than us. We think it's because we're not that girl. That's not true. Baby, you been that girl. You will always be that girl. You been that man. You will always be that man. But in order for God to propel you where he wants you to go, you have to be pulled back. In order for you to make the maximum impact, where you need to make impact, you have to be pulled back. So when you're pivoting, when you're starting out and you're sitting here and you're doing your views are shot back or your views aren't good, baby, it's just God saying, give it time. 2024 was a pulling back year, right? Was a pulling back year to prepare you for your going forth. And for YouTube especially, it's a long game. YouTube is a long game. So a video you posted today might go viral 2 years from now. A video you posted yesterday or 5 years ago might go viral next year. It's evergreen content. You don't think, oh, because it didn't get the views you wanted today, doesn't mean it's not going to get picked up tomorrow. Unlike all the other platforms, Instagram, your reels, I think they're live for a couple of days. You know, your posts are live for a couple of hours. YouTube is live forever, especially if it's evergreen content. So I really want you to like let go of that expectation that you have to be great when you first start out, or it has to be great as soon as you post it. It has to do well as soon as you post it. Just let it sit there. Let it sit there. Let it marinate. Keep creating. Keep showing up. Keep showing up. Don't ever, ever quit. Because at the end of the day, if you quit, you're never gonna win. You're never gonna win. That's the thing. If you quit, then you're guaranteed failure. But if you keep going, there's always that possibility that that one thing, sorry, y'all, that one video, that one thing that you did could change the trajectory of your life forever. You got to keep going. You got to keep moving. And you got to trust that when it's your time, nothing, no one, nobody will be able to stop you. Hey, AJ's house in Norway. You guys, if you're joining, you're not following me, definitely click the follow button. I usually do fashion content on my YouTube and luxury content. But if you guys want motivational content, I can do a video where I do my makeup and I talk like this with y'all. Just give me a subject and I'll do a video and we'll talk about tips on how to like just deal with depression, deal with anxiety, deal with loss, deal with rejection, how to keep going when you feel like everybody, I like my love language is just helping women. I want women to be the best. Positive discussion, perfect. You know what? And I'll get people to come on and do it with me. And we'll talk about how they persevered, how they kept going. So, yeah. You followed 3 weeks ago? Perfect. Welcome. So, next time I do my makeup, I will do a video for that. I want us to be the best we can be. Because it's great to have nice clothes. It's great to have nice things. It's better to be happy. You can have all those things and be miserable. Who wants that? Like, who wants that? Who wants to be, like, miserable like that? Who wants to go through life like not happy with what they have, and they have so much? So, oh, this blush is it's so good. It's probably the only blushes I use, the infallible blush. I have like 4 of them from L'Oreal. Love it. This one is berry, legendary berry. It's so good. It's so good. Especially with like the plum on the eyes. I don't know if you guys can see it, and the plum. So we're doing all plum, like fall looks. I'm about to shoot some YouTube videos for fall. I did a H&M, like I bought like 4 things from H&M, not too much, not too much, not too much from H&M. So I'm going to do a video kind of like showing that. I think I want to put some in the corners of my eye. Some, and actually, y'all, the eyelid right here, do you guys see that gorgeous like burnt orange burgundy is from Dibs. Dibs is so good. Dibs is so good. um Absolutely love them. So 10 out of 10 would recommend Dibs Beauty for their things. So Bobbi Brown for the highlight, just a little bit. Do y'all see that? Oh my gosh, so pretty. A little bit of highlight, a little bit of highlight in my life. I put a little bit on my chin, and then, of course, the nosy on it. I think I put too much on my forehead, so I'm going to go ahead and buff that out with my little Sephora powder brush. Love this brush. And thank you. Okay, that's very odd. Thank you. We're going to do that, and I think I'm going to... trying to think of... I did highlight. Oh, I need to bring some more warmth to my face. So I'm going to use my Makeup Revolution bronzer. A bronzer is like an amazing thing. This is a foundation brush. One thing I love about Sephora's brushes is they actually put what each brush is for on there. I linked the brushes, but I love it because sometimes because I don't do makeup like that, I'll literally just forget and be like, hold on, what brush is what? But they put it on there. So I'm going to use a little bit of this gorgeous bronzer in this dark color. I mean deep, and just kind of bring more shadows around the face. So wherever you would have contoured is where you put the bronzer. So underneath the chin a little, carve out your cheeks, and then a little on the forehead. Wherever there would be natural shadows is where you would put it. Not too much, not too much. And then I'm going to do a little bit, just a little on my nose. Okay, so let me just tell you, I have stopped going to the nail salon. And I know y'all like, what? What? No, I've stopped going to the nail salon. I'm sick of it. The amount of time it takes to do your nails is just time I could spend somewhere else. Hi, Koi Style. Hi, babes. So I've started doing it myself. It is horrible. So when I do my YouTube videos and I'm bringing the videos closer, please don't say anything about my nails. I've just decided to do it by myself just because the time, and then my nails. I do have a membership. I'm actually filming a video for my membership today. And yeah. So if there's any subject, I had somebody message me about a particular subject, but you guys, since you're on here, what subject would you like me to talk about in my membership? What subject? Comment, let me know. What do y'all need tips on? And I can, film a video on that just for y'all. But yeah, I have to do better at that. So next year I definitely plan on that. I'm hiring an assistant, which is gonna help me out a lot. That's gonna help me out a lot. So I'm very excited about my assistant. She's coming up Monday. She's my sister-in-law. So baby, the money's going in-house. Okay, we don't give money to anybody outside the house. Take it to the house. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, please let me know. And I will film that for y'all. I was looking for my what was I looking for? I was looking for something. Let me spray my face. I'm trying to get back into content creation. I love tips on that in your membership group. Okay, good. I will work on that for you. Maybe we'll do content creation tips for 2025 or something in the group. We're gonna do dark brown for the lips. My makeup, my favorite makeup brand has to be Bobbi Brown. Just because I absolutely love their foundation. Like, I feel like a good foundation is a basis. Well, good skin is a basis for anything, but a good foundation also goes a long way. And Bobbi Brown just makes great products, great foundation. So they would be my top. And then Fenty, when it comes to concealer contour, nobody can beat Fenty Beauty. They're not beating the allegation of being amazing. Okay, lipstick is done. There was something else I wanted to do, but I think I just wanted to put a little bit of contour on my nose. And I can't find my contour brush, so I'm just going to use Yeah. Perfection. Perfection. And then I'm gonna use this. Y'all, I got a little bump on my lip. I don't know how I got it, but I got a, a little cold sore on my lip. But granted, my kids have been sick. Anytime they get sick, I'm picking up something from them. So, okay, this is the makeup. We are going to spray it one more down with the one size. Ooh, I have a Friendsgiving at 7 o'clock, so I need this makeup to last me all day. Like, I need to last me from now when I'm filming all the way till when I go to the Friendsgiving. So that's why we did a lot of layers on it, and I still feel like the nose is really harsh. Yeah, that's better. I'm not one of those people that likes it. Oh, sorry, y'all. That likes it when, like, you can see, like, the contour, the cut crease. I want it all to kind of, like, blend together. So I always try to do my makeup where it's... Oh, I got foundation in my hair. I did a Sephora squad, sis. Go back when I finish. I'm gonna post this video. You can go back to the beginning and watch it because that was like the first 30 minutes of this video was talking about Sephora squad. So I'm gonna do my hair. I'm gonna hop on the clock app while we do our hair and have like a kiki. Y'all know I like to laugh on there. So we're just gonna go do our hair and laugh about some of the things that I've seen on that app lately. So if you want to join me on there, definitely go ahead, pop over there. We are going to run really quickly, do that, and then get to work on content. So I love y'all. Definitely rewatch the clock app. Click Clock. The one that rhymes with Click Clock. The clock app. Tick, 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 that app. So we'll talk about it on there. Sis, thank you so much for helping me with this live. Can you send me a DM on Instagram? Because I'm doing a Christmas, like, before I leave, I'm going to mail out some stuff to some of my favorite, people in my community. And I definitely want to send you something, even if it's just like a gift card online. So please send me a DM on Instagram. And then anybody that's in the YouTube group, I'm going to be messaging y'all to try to send y'all something before I leave. So love y'all. Bye.